Hello and welcome back to Grade 9 Chemistry. This is Chemistry 11, and we will be featuring learning competency number 9, which is use the mole concept to express mass of substances. Learning competency number 9 is S9MT to G19, or 19. If you need to have some sort of reading material to follow through with this discussion, with the parts of this session, you can get your learner's module, your copy of the learner's module. Open it in Unit 2, Module 3, pages 55 to 63. Ayan. So, this is Sir Carlos, and I hope na ready ka na kasi in this session, pag-uusapan na natin ang mole na medyo, mas matindi yung mathematical niya actually kesa sa pagiging factual niya. So, I hope that you're ready to do some math, okay, in this session. So this is divided into the usual 3 parts. Activity number 6 is the first part. It is entitled "What is common between acetone and formalin?" And then the second part is a summative assessment. It is comprised of multiple choices. And then the last part is a discussion the concept of a mole. Ayan. So, technically, matatapos na yung Module 3 with this summative assessment. And I will be starting with Module 4. Okay, for the concept of a mole. Pero this is just some sort of an introduction, kaya hindi siya ganong malaki. Okay, not enough reason for me to cut it really into 2 different sessions. And so, for the first part, activity number 6, what is common between acetone and formalin? We will be trying to achieve the following objectives in this activity. So, first is give the common uses of acetone and formalin. Acetone is a ketone, formalin is formaldehyde and aldehyde. And then relate the structures of acetone and formalin to the carbonyl compounds where they belong. Okay, so the materials you will be using or you will be needing are the following: paper and pencil. I'll be providing you the other materials that you may need in doing this activity. And so, acetone, a bit of a background. Acetone and formalin or formaldehyde are examples of carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds are carbon-containing compounds, and they are also compounds that have a carbonyl in it. So a carbonyl is a carbon that is double bound to an oxygen. Okay, so their carbonyl is their functional group, and that makes them unique. Okay, so in the case of formalin, it's right here. Its structure is as follows. Ayan, and acetone, or it has the following structural formula. So as you can see, it's acetone. Usually kapag ace, or such as acetic acid, yung mga ganon, usually you expect na may dalawa lang na carbon. It's because in this structure, since it's a ketone, the counted lang in the naming of this compound is itong dalawang carbons na to. Okay, yung carbon sa carbonyl hindi siya counted in the naming of acetone. Usually, again, ace is for 2 carbons. Okay, pero since you can see 3, let me repeat, one of them is not counted. The one that is double bound to an oxygen. And so I would like to answer the following questions quickly. The first question is, what are the common uses of acetone and formalin? What I would like you to do is recall kung ano yung mga naging uses nila in the previous sessions that we had. Halimbawa, I mentioned acetone before, and I also gave you an example of a bottle na commonly ginagamit in the Philippines. And yung purpose din niya, it was also given. So, ngayon, what is its common use? And then formalin, I also gave you an idea. Pero if in case you forgot, formalin is that that organic compound that was brought up when we were talking about treating human cadavers. Ayun, so yung mga embalmers, they were treating human cadavers, and so napag-usapan natin na isa rin natin sa usapan ang formalin. So what are their common uses? If you need more time to answer this question, you can pause this video. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready to proceed with question number 2. And so for question number 2, what types of bonds do the common compounds have in their structures? Okay, so what kind of bonds do they have? So I would like you to identify lahat ng mga bonds na meron siya. So remember, there are only 3 types of bonds: single bond, double bond, and triple bond. So which among those bonds are present in the structure of these carbonyl compounds? You can pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with answering the questions. Question number 1, the answer is acetone. It's commonly used as a solvent, pero mas common siya sa atin as a nail polish remover, pangtanggal ng cutics, ng cutex or ng nail polish. And then formaldehyde is used as a preserving agent and a disinfectant. So as a preserving agent, that is its purpose sa mga embalsamador, sa mga embalmers, and that is the purpose of formaldehyde that makes it an effective organic compound in preserving calipers. Yeah. I hope I made sense in that part. Ayan. So for the answer to question number 2, the structures of acetone and formaldehyde all have single and double bonds. There is not, wala silang triple bonds. Okay, so we're done with the first activity, first part of the session, activity 6, what is common between acetone and formalin. Let's have a summative assessment for the first item. We have the following. Okay, before I proceed, I would like you to get a piece of paper, okay, and a clean sheet of paper, and then your science notebook if you have your science notebook with you. Okay, so you need to answer the following questions by choosing the best answer from among them. Okay, so first question, which are true about organic compounds? Number 1, organic compounds contain calcium. Number 2, organic compounds contain carbon. Number 3, organic compounds can be produced by living organisms or by organisms. And then number 4, organic compounds can be produced artificially. So your choices are letter A, 1, 2, and 3 only. Letter B, 1 and 3 only. Letter C, 2 and 3 only. Letter D, 2, 3, and 4 only. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 2. Why are carbon atoms able to form many organic compounds? This is quite similar with the pre-assessment. Okay, so A, carbon atoms have strong attraction to other elements. B, carbon atoms attract electrons from other atoms. C, carbon atoms can form many types of bonds with other carbons. And D, none of these. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 3. How many bonds can a carbon atom form? So A1, B3, C2, and B4. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 4. Marcy's car stopped at the middle of the road. She found out that her car has ran out of fuel. Which compound must she buy? A, kerosene, B, gasoline, C, lubricating oil, and D, water. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, that means you are ready for question number 5. One Victor's grandmother was cooking their supper when she suddenly stopped and said, "Oh, the tank is already empty." Then her grandmother asked him to buy another tank. What did Victor's grandmother ask him to buy? A, was that gasoline? B, was Victor supposed to buy water? C, lubricating oil? Or D, liquefied petroleum gas or LPG? Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 6. Juan Miguel wants to protect his bicycle sports from rusting fast. Which of the following materials do you think will Miguel use? Or should Miguel use? A, vinegar, B, isopropyl alcohol, C, kerosene, and D. Lubricating oil. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 7. Okay, question number 7. Marcela told her grandson Miguel to never play with gasoline. Why do you think she does not allow him to do it? A. Because gasoline is volatile. B. Because gasoline is flammable or flammable. C. Because gasoline is viscous. D. All of the above. Pause this video if you need more time. Deciding to continue. Okay, so that means you're ready to proceed with question number 8. Emmanuel 1 cut his finger accidentally when he was trimming his nails. Do you remember Emmanuel 1? Okay, the son of a great fisherman. Yung dun sa question you were asked, what is he supposed to buy? Okay, to start fire. And so that is the same Emmanuel 1. He must apply something on his wound so it will not get infected. Which compound should he use? A. Formalin. B. Isopropyl alcohol. C. Kerosene. Or D. Acetone. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 9. I'm so sorry. Question number 9. Why is it important to know the properties of common liquid materials? A. To know the uses of the liquids. B. To know possible danger from these kinds of material. And C. To know how these liquids affect people. And D. All of the above. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 10. Question number 10, if I'm not mistaken, is the last question. I am not sure though. Okay, so which hydrocarbon compound has a double bond in the molecule? A. Ethane, B. Methane, C. Propene, or D. Propane. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, okay, let us proceed with... Okay, so hanggang 20 pala to. Question number 11. How many types of bonds are there in the following hydrocarbon compound? So it's referring to this hydrocarbon compound right here. Okay, so is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 12. To which group of hydrocarbon does the molecule with the following structure belong? So it's right here. A. Alkane, B. Alkyne, C. Alkene, and D. None of the above. Question number 13. Methane is a component of a natural gas. What is the common use of methane? A. Disinfectant, B. Medicine, C. Fuel, or D. For cleaning. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 14. What happens to the boiling point of hydrocarbon compounds when the number of carbon atoms increases? A. Remains the same, B. Decreases, C. Increases, or D. Increases, then decreases. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 15. What is the common use of ethine? A. Disinfectant, B. Fertilizer, C. Artificial ripening agent, or D. Antibiotic. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 16. Which of the following are true about the use of ethyl alcohol? 1. Medicine, 2. Fuel, 3. Disinfectant, and 4. Fertilizer. A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 3 and 4 only, D. 1 and 4 only. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 17. Veronica wants to change her nail polish because it does not look good with her new dress. What must she use to remove her fingers' old nail polish? A. Acetic acid, B. Lubricating oil, C. Acetone, and D. Formaldehyde. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 18. Which of the following compounds is a carbonyl compound? Okay, so is it A? I am not going to read them because it may lead to an answer. B, C, and D. All of the above. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 19. Maria Paula wants to preserve a fish for her project in biology class. What kind of compound should she use to preserve the animal? A. Acetic acid, B. Formaldehyde, C. Methyl alcohol, or D. Acetone. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 20. This is the last question and I'm quite sure of that. Which alkene will most likely have the highest boiling point? A. Ethene, B. Propene, C. Pentene, and D. Hexene. Pause this video if you need more time. If you have decided to continue, let us now proceed with answering these questions. For question number 1, the answer is 2, 3, and 4 only. So organic compounds contain carbon, they can be produced by living organisms, and they can also be produced artificially. So remember ethyl acetate, that is produced by pear, and then remember that in petroleum we can harness different kinds of oils and use them. Okay, and harnessing is artificial. That's the answer to question number 1, B. Question number 2. Okay, so the answer is letter C. Carbon atoms can form many types of bonds with other carbons. They can form single bonds, double bonds, and triple bonds with other carbons. Okay, that's the answer to question number 2. The answer to question number 3 is B, 3. So let us be clear here. How many types of bonds can a carbon atom form? It is referring to the kind of bond that a carbon atom can form. So that is a single bond, double bond, and triple bond. Now you may tell me that this is quite different from the first question. Yeah, actually it's because I would like to emphasize this as a point of discussion. Okay? The correct answer, okay, is your correct answer. Your correct answer is supposed to be 4 because a carbon atom can form 4 bonds. Okay, pero the types of bonds it can produce is 3 because it can form 1, 2, and 3 triple bonds. I mean 1 single bonds, double bonds, and triple bonds. So that's a total of 3 types of bonds. Okay, so ayun. Question number 4. The answer is B, gasoline. Her car ran out of fuel, of course. You can't use any other, or the most efficient carbon-containing compound is gasoline. For that purpose. Question number 5, the answer is LPG, or liquefied petroleum gas, and I don't think I still need to explain this. Okay, so everyone, most of us are familiar with that tank, okay, that is near our gas ranges or our stove at home. Okay. Question number 6, the answer is D, lubricating oil. So I also said this before, dun sa question on ball bearings in the pre-assessment, it's the same concept. Para hindi maluma yung ball bearings and all of the other parts na metallic ng isang bicycle, lubricating oils are put to protect them. Ayan. So, question number 7, the answer is B, because gasoline is flammable. It's highly flammable. I think, Miguel and that gasoline boy at the gas station, they must learn, right? They must always keep this in mind that gasoline is flammable, so it's dangerous if a gasoline boy or any other person is going to, say, even the manager, okay, or even the owner of a gasoline station. It's dangerous if they smoke near or in the vicinity of the gasoline station. Okay, so also kids, okay, children, or actually no one is allowed to technically play with gasoline. Okay, you just have to use it, and when you use it, you have to make sure that you're being careful. Right? By playing, kasi it's much like just for fun, like, right? So let us not play, all of us. Let's not play with gasoline because it's flammable. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous substance. Question number 8. Emmanuel 1 needs to apply isopropyl alcohol because as much as possible, the wound must be protected kasi an open wound is an access to his bloodstream and it may allow infections. So for the infections to not take place, to not happen in the first place, kailangan ma-disinfect yung area. So the best disinfectant is isopropyl alcohol for this purpose. Question number 9, the answer is, all of them. It is important to know the properties of common liquid materials because we need to know their uses. We need to know the possible dangers from using these kinds of materials. And then we also need to know how these liquids affect people so that we are responsible when we use them. Question number 10, the answer is propene. Okay, so it's propene. It has a double bond in its molecule because ethane and methane, they only have single bonds. Propane has single bonds and a triple bond. Whereas propene has single bonds and double bond. Question number 11, this hydrocarbon is, it has tawag doon, 2 types of bonds. Meron siyang single bonds, meron din siyang double bonds, pero wala siyang triple bonds. So only 2 types of bonds are present in this hydrocarbon compound. Question number 12, the answer is alkyne. Okay, remember, it has this triple bond. Since meron siyang dalawang this is what we call as ethine. Okay, so dalawa kasi yung carbons niya. I did not read it a while ago because it will lead you to the answer. Ethine sounds like alkyne, so it must be the carbons. So I'm hoping as well, pa rin, na got the answer correctly. So question number 13. Methane is a natural gas, and its most common use still is as a fuel, as an additive to fuel. Question number 14. The answer is as the number of carbon atoms increases, the boiling point of hydrocarbon compounds also increases. So they are directly proportional. Question number 15. The most common use of ethine is as an artificial ripening agent. The answer to question number 16 is 2 and 3 only. So ethyl alcohol is very well used. It's usually used as fuel and disinfectant. Question number 17, the answer is acetone. So Veronica needs to use acetone to remove nail polish from his nails, of course, to match her dress. So the answer to question number 18 is A. Okay, so A, that is the only compound that has the carbonyl group, the functional group. It's that carbon double bond with an oxygen. And meron siyang alcohol dito, so we can just expect this molecule as an alcohol in as much as it can also be an aldehyde. Okay, it cannot be an aldehyde and an alcohol at the same time. Pero naming these is going to be another topic, so I'm not going to explain much more. Okay, so I'm just giving you a clue. It can be an aldehyde, it can also be a ketone. Let us know once we go through the naming of compounds. Question number 19, the answer is B, formaldehyde. Although it's dangerous to use this kind of compound, okay, as an individual, pero, well, if Maria Paula is working already for a biology laboratory, she can use formaldehyde more freely, right? Perhaps with no restrictions. It's formalin. Okay, formaldehyde, it's the same as formalin. Question number 20, the last item, the answer is hexene. Since hexene has the most number of carbons, it most likely will have the highest boiling point. So I hope that you counted you count now the number of correct answers that you have. Okay, so I hope that you got a score of 20 over 20 because this is a summative assessment. So I'm pretty much hoping that you got very good scores in this one. Okay, so we're done with the second part of this session, the summative assessment that is comprised of multiple choices. Let's now proceed with the last part, an overview of what mole means. If you're familiar with Mongo, I remember Jokoy dun sa isa sa mga stand-up shows niya. Kinuwento niya how how he's so jealous of his classmates or schoolmates whenever they have recess, tapos nagkakaroon ng amazing exchanges, like bars of chocolates are being traded, okay? Bottles of Gatorades are being traded. Tapos siya, he was holding this thing, Kool-Aid container ba yun? Or a container. Usually kasi in the Philippines, when we refer to a Tupperware, we are actually referring to an empty tub, a plastic tub of ice cream. Pinaglagyan ng gano'n. And so, syempre, Jokoy having a Pinoy mom, ganun yung ganun yung parang naging experience niya. I mean, it's actually funny when you listen to, when you watch him in that show. So yeah, Mongo is one of the things na in the Philippines, at least for the Philippines, na binebenta not by counting the number of seeds, pero by just selling them through kilograms, such as rice, right? You don't count rice when you sell it, and when you buy it, you don't count like rice, like you're going to buy around 1,000 grains of rice, like 100 seeds ba ang tawag dito? 100 pieces of mango beans yata. You don't do that, right? Pero you buy it through kilograms, through mass. Okay, so but there are also things that you can buy individually, such as eggs. Like you can buy 2 eggs or 5 eggs. You can buy a dozen of eggs, right? May ganon. Okay, some things are, well, eggs can be bought as by counting them, not by measuring their masses. Okay, usually ganon naman siya in the Philippines. Like they're counted, such as halimbawa 2 bottles of soft drink, ganon. Okay, 2 bottles of soft drink. Pero minsan meron din siyang minsan parang counting masses. Such as halimbawa, when you buy chips, you don't buy like 10 pieces of chips, right? Pero you buy bags of chips. Okay, if you get what I mean. Okay, so what now is the connection of this to the concept of mole? So pieces of matter are quantified by either counting or getting their mass. In markets, usually, one would rather sell mango seeds by getting the mass, and then yung mga salted eggs, yung mga tawag sa mga salted eggs, ebon buro sa Kapampangan yan. Okay, so itlog na maalat. Yeah, yun. When itlog na maalat, when they are being traded or be bought or sold, it's by counting. Okay, pero yung halimbawa mango seeds, halimbawa na lang yung beans, ganun. Kidney beans, yung pwedeng rice din, ganun, brown rice, any kind of rice. Usually binebenta talaga yan by mass. Okay, so by kilo. The choice of quantifying goods, kung paano siya ibebenta, okay, paano rin siya bibilangin, it's actually determined by convenience. O nga naman, mas convenient na bilangin na lang itlog kesa sa by mass siya. And ito naman, mas convenient na by mass kesa sa bilangin pa siya. Because it is sometimes easier, it is very easy to get the mass of these mango seeds rather than count them. And in this case naman, it's more convenient to count the number of eggs than just, carry out and get their mass. Mas convenient yung mga ways na meron so far in quantifying them. Now, to measure these quantities, may mga units such as kilograms or gram, or counting units such as a dozen or case, or ream, okay, para sa papel, na ginagamit natin to refer to these quantities easily and to make them more imaginable. Okay, so in the laboratory, it's pretty much the same thing. Chemists measure an amount of substance, and they need to react that certain amount of substance with another substance of a definite amount then to acquire desired amount of product then, of new products. So they can't just go ahead and do trial and error every time. They need to measure things really exactly. Dapat exactly yung pagkaka-measure niya. So that they can be sure that whatever the new product is, it's going to be the kind of product that they're targeting. In this case, chemists need to know then kung ilan yung atoms, ions, or molecules ng mga substances because chemical substances they react in terms of ions, in terms of atoms, and in terms of molecules. Alright, so they can't really count like the way we count eggs, like in dozens or in masses. I mean, you can use grams, but sometimes grams it's actually smaller. And when referring to masses, it doesn't always apply. It is not always the thing, the quantity we're looking for that we can use. So yeah, may mga sometimes there are molecules, there are forms of matter that are too small, or there are just too many to count individually. So chemists use a unit called the mole to quantify them by weighing. So how does that happen na? Halimbawa, just try to think of it like a mole is a dozen. Okay, so a dozen, it refers to 12 pieces of what? Usually 12 pieces of cookies, 12 pieces of eggs. Or a mole can also refer to a ream, okay, which is comprised of, if I'm not mistaken, 500 sheets of paper. It can refer to a case, okay, so a mole represents a certain number of particles. And we will know more about that in the next video in this series. For the meantime, you were able to finish the following parts of the session. Activity 6, what is common between acetone and formalin. Summative assessment that has multiple choices, yung 20 items. And a discussion about the concept of a mole. So this is Sir Carlos, and I hope that you learned something in this session and that I will see you in the next video in this series. Have a good day.